Yerp, this PURP back with another video. Here to discuss Snowfall, Season 2, Episode 6. And let me start off by saying this was a really good episode. And it starts off with Pedro's girlfriend, aka the Rat, aka the Fed. And we'll get to who's the Rat later, but it starts off with her now trying to take down the cartel on top of taking down Lucia, and the whole organization. Even though she knows she probably is caught, and now her superior or whatever found out that she had to help get rid of the body and whatnot. So now she has 2 days to put all this together and put everybody away, which I think is going to end up blowing up in her face, maybe literally. Yeah, it's just really interesting. Her character is very interesting in how she talks to Pedro going forward in the episode. You don't see that until later on in the episode, but the next scene you see Teddy, Matt, Avi, and this other dude. I didn't really catch his name, but they're all in Panama City, and he's setting up something over there in Panama City. I gotta rewatch it, but it kind of like went by very quickly for me. I wasn't, too invested in it because I feel like the stuff that's happening with Teddy and Matt and whatnot and Avi is going to play a big part going into next season. And I think this is where a lot what we're going to see in this season going forward is going to be built up for season 3. And I might have a prediction video or something like that before the season finale. But anyways, it cuts to the next scene where Franklin and Kev are in the ice cream truck talking about business, and you notice that Franklin's just holding this gun. He's always been holding this gun that's been given to him. And at this point, Kev is talking about a business, and Franklin's not really having it because he doesn't want to give up the recipe. He doesn't really want to expand like that. But then we cut to Lucia, and she's in trouble, obviously now. Now she has to answer to her aunt, which is she's already been suspecting of her because she tells her, I wanted power too, and I see it in you, and that's why she respects her. But she definitely wouldn't hesitate to take out her whole entire bloodline, as she said. Now, she's got to find out the recipe because she's going to give her aunt the recipe. So they organize a meeting with Franklin, and Franklin is already not giving out the recipe. He doesn't care. Even Oso said, yo, I saved your life, but even Franklin acknowledges that, but he's just like, that's something I cannot give up. And I really like that. And now, one of the most interesting parts of this whole episode, we get more backstory on Peanut and like his dad and his lifestyle and his connection with Franklin. And what you come to find out that he doesn't shoot. I don't think he always shoots regular porn. He's been shooting gay porn, which Jerome has the funniest reaction to this. I'm not going to spoil it. There's a lot of things I'm not going to spoil in this episode, but just going to give you like kind of a quick little breakdown. But Jerome had some of the funniest moments in these scenes, like, and you also find out that Peanut's dad is the one that set him up with Avi from the whole start, which is pretty interesting. And I kind of like how Franklin is gonna leave it to Peanut and like let him figure it out, you know. But my boy Pedro here, we now know he is a snitch. But it's gonna be interesting is if he gets second thoughts on turning on his sister, because I don't think he fully understands what she is up to. And like I said before, like it's really interesting how she's talking to him and whatnot. Now jumping back to the end of this episode, towards the end of this episode, Lucia, and also approach Kevin, and they want him to give up the recipe because, you know, and Kevin's very hesitant, but I really feel like they are building up this beef between Kev and Franklin. I don't really know if he's going to tell them, but something tells me he will. And this will set up, like I said, everything right now is setting up for season 3. And I feel like one of the themes for season 3 will be a Franklin versus Kev, or we'll eventually get to that point. Or Franklin might catch word of this and put a stop to it by the end of the season. Who knows? But it's going to be really interesting. And I find it really interesting that they set up all these different plot lines and different plots, like different storylines they can go, and you really don't really know where this story is headed. And I kind of like that. I like that it becomes unpredictable and it just becomes a mystery. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention that we see Alejandro's wife talking to Teddy. Now that's going to be interesting because I think she's already suspicious of Teddy. And I feel like Teddy's going to get paranoid, and he's already paranoid. I believe he's going to do something stupid once again. But we just got to wait and see how these two are going to play out by the end of the season. But until the next episode, I'll check y'all in the next video. Peace.